Goedemiddag mense. Alright, 1 week post scalp. Remember, it was just the light scalp last weekend. We applied Novatec Nmax. I then mowed it off camera on Wednesday, and then I did one little watering session that was on the Sunday evening straight after mowing, and then nothing again. And this is what it looks like today. That is pretty good going, if I say so myself. Yeah, I'm quite happy with those results. Definitely managed to reduce a bit of the sponginess, although it wasn't too bad to start with, but now it's just going to be a little bit tighter. I think now when we hit it again with Frankenstein, it's the same height of cut still set up. I actually took it down to just like a tight 12 mils, so it will be just under 12 mil. And yeah, we'll just go at it again and just see what happens. I'm sure we'll end up with some areas that will have little scalp marks, but for the most part, it will be lacquer. So let's give it a mow. Okay, so there's single pass. It's not looking too bad. You can tell the areas, like the middle, is looking quite good. The outside here where these guys dug the drain, and over here where it's too much traffic over here, so it's very uneven versus what it normally is, but that's looking pretty good so far. So what I'm going to do is just go over it again in a different direction, maybe do some coloring in, which I never did last time, get into those sort of lower dips that the mower tends to just hover over, and I think I'll call it a day after that. But yeah, I do believe that's close to the results that I want. It's definitely going to be a little bit easier keeping it at a slightly lower height of cut, I think. So let's just see what happens now. Something about a good mow, isn't there? That was a satisfying mow. I'm happy with the results. Looks a little bit paler on camera, I see, than in real life, but it's looking and feeling rather tight. From the top, it's just a little bit scalpity-delpity, but it is dense. So I do think by next weekend we're going to be looking at some proper green. But for now, it's still looking a little bit worse for wear. This is the state where your wife moans at you, but in a week it's going to look great. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention that I did in fact give Frankenstein a backlap before this mow. Just readjust that cutting cylinder. I realized I haven't backlapped for the whole season. So I had the real ground down straight coming out of, when is it, out of winter coming into the spring. So this season I had a fresh ground, but I never backlapped, although I didn't do much mowing this season, got to be honest. But yeah, Frankenstein has now been backlapped, serviced, cleaned. That cutting cylinder to bed knife is cutting perfectly. It's just barely making contact, but still making contact. Remember, you don't want too much contact, otherwise you're going to, as the blade heats up, it's going to expand it a little bit, and then you're going to eat into that blade, dulling both the blade and messing up the bed knife. And obviously you'll warp the bed knife as well. That's one thing that a lot of people don't mention, is the cutting cylinder can handle that. That little bit of extra heat, it just becomes dull. But the bed knife warps. It gets all wonky, and that just messes you up even further. So don't over tighten. If you find yourself having to over tighten to get to cut paper or cut a piece of grass, it's time for a backlap or a grind. But yeah, I think that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share this with your buddies, and we'll see you next weekend. Cheers.